Hi all, this is Skate, and this video is a little bit different to what I usually put on in terms of tank reviews. On this one, I just want to look at some random scenarios. They're scenarios which I find highly amusing, but also they're in scenarios where you end up against a shed ton of tanks. For example, the friendly T25AT just asked, where are they? Well, I just found them all, and I just lost a lot of hit points. But they're all about to rush me. So we're going to get a blocked damage marker on the screen and see how long we can survive. So here we go. 4 tanks on us. I have less than half hit points and we're already bouncing off. Stuff like this just shouldn't happen. But I like this sort of stuff. It's funny. It's what we play games for, is to have a laugh. I am going to manage to reduce it to a 3-on-1 situation. My team do have an advantage, at least by me keeping these guys busy, hopefully. And we're still blocking damage, somehow. This is kind of fun. We are going to get penetrated there by the Yag. And what I'm trying to do, basically, is focus my armor on the ones I think are about to shoot me. Sadly, I let that T69 get behind me, and this is where he does manage to finish me off. But before we died, we blocked 3,365 damage, and that really probably did go a long way in terms of helping the team. I think already we can see the trend as to what this video is going to be like. It's just going to be for a bit of fun. I mean, in this circumstance, this guy, in theory, should finish me off, and I will not be able to finish him, but we get a fire and we manage to finish him off. But here comes the T62A. I am a one-shot to this guy. He's pretty much full hit points. He bounces by shooting the side of our tank at an aggressive angle, and I've managed to keep him off the rear of my tank, in just enough time for our friendly to come along and start shooting at him. He's bounced off the side of me again. I'm trying to angle as best you can. He should have just shot the back of my tank, but he shot the side again, which means, well, he's dead, I'm not. Now that is the scenario I should have died in. Or this one. Now, I saw one medium tank on the flank, so I was like, great, I'm going to go deal with that in my Foch 155. Doesn't go to plan. What actually happens is I'm trying to deal with this Leo in front of me, and in doing so I allow an Object 140 to get on the rear of me. So I'm going to turn my attention to this Object 140 and I'm going to ignore the Leo on the assumption, bad assumption, that that T62A on my team was going to kill him, or at least distract him, but the T62A is dead. So now I'm going to be in a 2 versus 1 scenario, because here comes the Leo. And what I'm trying to focus on is whoever is going to be shooting at me, keeping my armor to them both. Which is why, now the Leo's come to go flank me, I'm ramming this guy, reversing so the building is next to me as best it can, but we get an ammo rack to help us out. And now all I gotta do is keep this Leo off the rear of me, and I can have some fun with him. So yeah, this is meant to be for a laugh, and just share some of those funny moments that make you laugh in a game. But they can also be useful to pick up a few things if you don't know how to keep tanks off your turretless tank destroyer. I'm in a scenario now where this Leo doesn't know where to go. I'm a one-shot to him, and he knows I could probably put one big shell into him before he does manage to finish me off. So you can see he's very cautious, which is why I'm reversing. Somebody on my team has the same thoughts and tells me to reset my camo in a second. Which is exactly the intent of reversing. In theory, he's going to pop out to go, hey, where's he gone? And then as he does, I'm going to aim to put a HE shell into him. Now, if he comes out frontally, AP shell is going to be more reliable, but a HE shell in this circumstance is really going to put the odds in my favour. And we do hit the HE shell, for a nice tasty amount of damage. And again, you'll notice I'm keeping the building near me. I rammed him, somebody else put a huge shot into him, thankfully. I managed to block another shot, and HE finishes him off. I should have died in that circumstance, but things like keeping buildings next to you and a little bit of RNG in your favour really do help. This clip also cracked me up. You can tell by the amount of hit markers that we've already received a fair few bounces, but one of them did not bounce. Now my logic at this point was to go for the Death Star. However, there's another tank with him, and a T62A is about to appear behind me, and there's an IS-7 that's going to come round and follow them up. So I need to back up, and this is where the game starts to get a little bit interesting, because we're going to get pushed by several tanks. The T62A does help us out at first though. He's going to pull out in front of us, sideways. In hindsight, I should have just used HE and splashed on them into the side of him and probably penned him. However, I was more prioritised on trying to angle up because I knew there was a Death Star there as well. I got lucky with that Death Star bounce. But it always helps. But I'm going to keep reversing, and hopefully, because there's a couple of them and only one of me, they are going to push towards me, and I can keep them in front of me. And this is a prime example of why I'm enjoying my Yag a lot more than my Death Star nowadays, because it can take a beating even if it can't traverse as quickly. I mean, Death Star comes on the corner, we can get one in the track. He tried to splash us with the HE, the Hesh rather, and didn't do a great deal there. But he's got a T-62A with him. I'm going to ram this guy for 400 plus damage, finish him off, and I've managed to keep this guy from basically coming around the back of us by reversing quickly. And now he's stuck to the front of me. He can try and circle, but there's a building around us. But I'm going to completely ignore him to stop this IS from flanking. A quick HE round finishes off the IS, and we can just concentrate solely on the T-62A. Now yeah, he could try and circle us, but there's a building right next to us. He's not going to succeed. I was hoping to finish this guy with one into this hatch, however, Death Star fires exactly the same time as me and does finish him off. So yeah, on the Death Star versus Yag competition, conversation, Death Star wins every time due to track traverse, in most people's eyes. However, I'm playing this tank an awful lot more, because the armor is just so much more reliable. This is the last clip of the video. It's only a quick video. But I wanted to include these and make sure I made some form of video including them. I could have done something with a bit of music over the top and a bit of funny voices, but more than anything, it's just some of those stupid scenarios where positioning yourself can make all the difference, making sure you manipulate your armor correctly, and of course a little bit of good old-fashioned RNG really do help matters. I've got another video lined up for probably the end of this week, which pretty much just contains some of those crazy shots that make you go, wow, or ooh, or that's gonna hurt. And no, there's very little Death Star shots in there. But that one, the next one is pure stupidity. This one, well, it's when you win these circumstances, or even if you don't, you feel very content and happy with yourself, because you can't help but think, I should be dead. Like that guy, in theory, if that wasn't there, he may have been able to circle me. He's just set me on fire, but... And now here comes the M103. M103 has made a mistake because he should have kept pushing me. Then there would have been an E100 on one side of me and an M103 on the rear side of me. But there is a tank behind me, which is kind of helping circumstances. Well, there was a tank behind me. Now it's the M103 and the E100 versus me, but I should be able to finish off that M103, which means it's me versus the E100. He does get one into me, and it's a big one. So, I'm a one-shot to this guy, and he is full hit points. I just need to hide my lower plate, angle as best I can, and go through the front of his turret every single time, and I should be okay. In theory, of course. You need to be pointing the corner of your tank at these tanks to try and increase the chance of them bouncing. But we have bounced one, which gives us the opportunity to put one more into him. And now I'm going to get up close and personal again. And I think he gets a bit annoyed because, as you see a lot of people do, he resorts to the HE, which really isn't going to work on this tank too effectively. So I'm going to get one more, or am I? No, I do get this one. So we're now both pretty much one-shots. HE still doesn't finish me off. This time I do use a heat round because I want to guarantee it, because I want to kill him. I was tempted to use a HE round, kill us both for giggles, but then I thought, nah. That is it for this video though. It's something a little bit more light-hearted, but it's those scenarios. They really do make me laugh sometimes. But I hope you have enjoyed this video. Stay tuned to the channel because there's another one quite similar, just a little bit more stupid, coming out, along with a couple of other interesting videos, including a bit of a Blitz rant video that's coming out soon as well. And obviously lots of stuff like Tankfest and Mobile Masters. But thank you all for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed this one, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.